after those dogs, Huggy was bred to a female. I had a female once again. I bred this dog Shrek, and he was a good dog. He was a little too hyper. Like he was a 110-pound dog, and like he had two speeds: sleep and
Go.
bouncing off the walls, and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
kind of stupid. He was a little weird, short backed, very thick bone. He loved me, and I could handle him just fine. But once he got to a certain age, everybody came to my yard, all my friends from out of town and stuff. Oh man, I want to see him. So he'd go into his yard and he'd get excited, and I couldn't figure out why he was doing it. And I had one friend that was like, he's like a steroid freak bodybuilder guy, and it was
Yeah.
wintertime. He had one of these big overcoat things, like a cowboy Marlboro man. It had
Yeah.
like wings on it, big, thick overcoat because it's freezing outside. And he goes in there and he's all, this guy was into game dogs and all kinds of stuff. It's, I don't know why Shrek started getting so excited. He'd jump up and grab the guy's shoulder of his coat. And then if the guy pushed him away or something, then he'd grab the jeans next, on his knee. And eventually he'd try to pull the guy, and he would pull him to the ground. But he wouldn't attack the guy. But he was like he was constant. He wanted to grab the guy. I don't know what it was. And I thought, well, he's a little inbred. Maybe he's a little
Yeah.
stupid. I don't know. But it got to the point where I was a little afraid. I thought, I don't want to produce dogs like this.
Right.
He's friendly, and I'm sure he's the type of dog with his family. He'd always be cool. But with strangers, I can't. I have there was a dog behavioralist that had some of my dogs, and I asked him about it, and he said, yeah, he's so gung ho and hyper, he just would go through the checklist of what he wants to do to be dominant or something, which
Yeah.
I couldn't get it. So that dog, I bred him, but not as much, probably not as much as I should have, because it didn't. I never saw that in anything else. And so anyway, I produced this dog. I produced three pups in this litter. I sold the best female. Oh, I had kept the best female, and I checked her hips or something, or no, her elbows, and they weren't good enough. So I sold it to a guy that I knew in New York, and I had a male that was real nice. He was a little cowhocked, and I couldn't stand that back then. I couldn't get over that. And then
Yeah.
I had this female that I thought was a little scraggly, nothing, and I'd sold it to this girl in Illinois. Anyway, so the male I ended up selling to a Roman guy from Rome. He came over, and I wasn't going to keep the puppy, so I just called him Big Boy. Like I get a pup, a lot of times I'll call, come here, Big Boy. And well, anyway, he's from Italy, so he didn't understand that. He thought that was the name I gave him, Big Boy, Big Boy. So he kept the name, Boy, Boy. Anyway, he gets the dog over there, and he's this guy. Turned out, I think he was loaded, had a lot of money, and he bought dogs from all over, and he was breeding the crap out of that dog to all kinds of dogs. And I was like, oh, don't breed to that, don't breed to that. And then they produced really well. Some phenomenal dogs that I never would have dreamed came out of that. Well, the scraggly female that I say scraggly, she wasn't that bad, but she just it wasn't didn't trip my trigger. So I sold her to this goofy gal, and the gal kept complaining. I think there's something wrong with her kidneys or something. I'm like, what? I said, well, have you taken her to the vet? No, I don't want to spend all that money. She's real thin. She doesn't gain weight. She's just real skinny, and she's hyper. And I'm like, oh God, it's been like Shrek. So long story short, I I gave her a different dog and took the pup back at like 7 months or 6 months, and she was real thin, like very thin. So I'm like, oh shit.